In the soft glow of morning, the scene opens with domestic calm, family at breakfast, sunlight spilling across the kitchen table. Then Noah's innocent remark, "Mom was crying in a man's car last night," shatters the stillness. The line slices through routine, introducing tension that feels intimate, raw, and irreversible. Evan's reaction deepens the unease. He freezes, his mind racing, but Lena's silence is louder than any defense. Her calm detachment suggests exhaustion, resignation, or hidden truth. When she quietly excuses herself, leaving father and son in silence, the air feels heavy with everything left unsaid: betrayal, guilt, and quiet heartbreak. Later, the phone message, "Thanks for last night. You didn't deserve those tears," becomes the story's haunting pivot. Evan doesn't read further, doesn't confront, only buries suspicion beneath denial. His closing narration, sometimes, pretending not to know feels safer than the truth, reveals cowardice wrapped in sorrow. Setting the tone for emotional unraveling ahead, Evan's world is defined by quiet failure and unspoken shame. Once confident and devoted, he now drifts through days clouded by job loss and bruised pride. His silence isn't cruelty, it's armor. He hides behind detachment, convincing himself that withdrawing protects Lena from his inadequacy, though it only deepens their emotional distance. Lena, meanwhile, carries the weight of holding everything together. Once cherished, she now feels unseen, reduced to routine and responsibility. Her meetings with Dr. Miles Carter aren't acts of betrayal, but desperate attempts to stay afloat. When she cried in his car, it wasn't infidelity, it was exhaustion finally breaking free. Their home quietly reflects this fracture. Noah's drawings show parents far apart, a visual echo of their disconnect. Lena's hidden tears and Evan's deleted job rejections mirror mutual despair. Neither is cruel, yet both are complicit in silence. The audience feels compassion, torn between two hearts, slowly collapsing under unspoken pain. When Evan spots Lena in that same car again, a quiet dread turns into obsession. Her gentle touch on the man's hand feels like betrayal, even though he doesn't know the truth. He follows them through city lights to a park, watching from a distance, heartbreaking proof of intimacy he can't understand. Back home, Evan's fear festers into quiet panic. Sleepless, he searches her belongings, hoping to confirm or disprove his worst thoughts. The unopened letter he finds, "If you ever ask, I'll tell you the truth," feels like both invitation and punishment. Yet, cowardice wins. He leaves it sealed, clinging to ignorance. When Lena returns, her whispered apology, "I'm sorry you had to hear from Noah," shatters the illusion of safety. She already knows he doubts her, yet she's too weary to explain. Evan's silence becomes his sin. His refusal to confront the truth marks the moment their fragile marriage truly begins to die. Evan's guilt twists into paranoia. Nights at the office blur with empty bottles and restless thoughts. He watches Lena through a fog of fear, misreading her silence as rejection instead of hurt. Every attempt to talk feels like stepping onto thin ice, his words sharp. Her responses colder, both terrified of breaking completely. Lena, meanwhile, rebuilds herself quietly through therapy. Each session with Dr. Carter helps her rediscover strength she once buried beneath responsibility. But healing also means facing the truth. She's ready to leave the version of herself that kept begging to be seen. Her confession, "I love my husband," echoes finality. Noah becomes the mirror neither parent wants to face. His troubled drawings expose their unspoken war. His teacher's words pierce deeper than accusation. Sitting side by side, heads bowed, Evan and Lena finally share something: shame. The silence between them grows unbearable, yet neither knows how to break it. Evan's breaking point comes on a rain-soaked evening, when he finally decides to face the truth he's been running from. Seeing Lena in her car, crying again, reignites his deepest fear. His voice trembles as he demands answers. But his desperation masks years of silence, shame, and unspoken longing for connection. Lena's calm reply slices through his accusation. The man who helped me remember who I was before I became invisible. Her words unravel every false assumption he clung to. When she hands him Dr. Carter's notes, the truth hits: she wasn't betraying him. She was trying to survive what he ignored. Evan's world collapses under realization. His silence, not another man, broke their marriage. Lena's final words: "I've already forgiven you, but I can't keep waiting for you to ask what's wrong," carry both grace and finality. The twist redefines betrayal as neglect, leaving the audience gutted by love lost through quiet abandonment. Evan's healing begins in silence, the same silence that once destroyed him. In therapy, he finally reads Lena's letter, its words soaked in quiet resignation. "If you ever find this, it means I've stopped hoping you'll ask me to stay." The message breaks him, teaching that neglect, not betrayal, kills love. Lena's new life is modest but freeing. Her apartment feels smaller, yet her heart finally breathes. She's not escaping Evan, she's choosing herself. Each morning with Noah reminds her that peace is worth the loss. She still loves him, but now she understands. Love without communication is self-erasure. Evan rebuilds slowly. Visiting Noah every weekend, learning to speak again through art, his paintings reflect remorse and rebirth. In therapy, he admits, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is finally ask why, even if it's too late. It's not closure, it's acceptance and quiet redemption. A year later, life has softened around the scars. At Noah's school art exhibition, Evan wanders through bright paintings until one stops him cold. Mom and Dad talking again. The child's brushstrokes capture something neither parent managed in words. Two figures facing each other, separated only by gentle light. Lena stands nearby, calmer, radiant in her quiet strength. When Evan approaches, his voice carries humility rather than regret. "I never asked why, but if you're still willing, I want to listen now." Her reply: "I know. That's why I came." Feels like forgiveness unfolding, not reunion. The final image lingers on Noah's painting, a silent promise of healing. Evan's closing narration: "I thought silence protected love. But sometimes, silence is the slowest way to lose it. Resonates like truth learned too late. Fade out, not on endings, but on fragile, hopeful understanding."